and uncover those for yourself. So rather than going, oh, you go down the occiput here and down underneath the rhomboids down through the serratus and trace that, which we've done before. I really would like to use the floor to sense those spirals through some movements. So that's what we're going to do. So first off, we'll as usual, we'll start in constructive rest, and then we're going to start to explore just the spirals of the arms. Just feel what it's like, what happens if you turn the pinky over the thumb, turn the thumb over the pinky, and then bring that out to the side, and we'll do some flippering. Then we're going to flip it all the way up to above the head here, and then we're just going to be rolling from side to side. So the head is going to turn, then you're going to feel the spiral that causes the turn of, so see how if I turn my hands this way, there's a kind of like, yeah, you'll check it out. Anyway, so then you're gonna keep going with that spiral, and then use the gravity to feel the spiral as you roll over, and see if you can feel this to be the last thing, because after we've done this a couple of times, you're going to do the same thing with the feet. So you're going to come this way and then just see what it's like to follow the spirals of the feet over onto the side of you. Yeah, with me so far? Okay. It's not rocket science. Yep. But then when you're on your front, you're going to turn the head, use the senses, and then you're going to turn the arm, one of the arms, and just let that sit there. And you're just going to sit there, and it's real fun. I think this is a real blast. So you don't enjoy that.
Yeah, it looks like it.
Yeah, it is. And then you do that, and then you're going to do the same thing with the legs. Now, oh yeah, this is the other fun thing, is that there are two ends of the spinal column. I mean, there isn't actually, they're all the same, they're all from the same somites. So, much as this movement of the arm is instigated by this spiral, when you're moving your leg, see what it's like not to wag your tail. So you'll just play with that. You're
okay. You're following like your heel instead of.
Well, you're gonna let the foot do the exploration. So the foot does the exploration, and that's me not wagging my tail as I do it.
Can you show what wagging your tail is?
Imagine your tail and your pelvis is the same kind of thing as the head. So, I mean, it's clearly not, because I haven't got a nose next to my anus, thank God. So that's the next step in evolution. So if my foot comes across, oh my God, so it's so weirdly different. So it's just a question of giving my tail a little wag. So as I move the foot across, give my tail a little wag. I imagine that my coccyx is wagging. Did you see this muscle give way long there?
Yeah.
It's because I wag my tail.
Yeah. So then it's like the whole leg loses like a big.
Well, you'll feel it. So. The other thing is, as you do these things, remember to check in with the ground, see what releases as a result of being in contact with the ground. Yeah. And this is the thing that I actually needed to demo. So when you bring this here, and you're going to wag your tail so your knees come up, and then you're going to fill your back so you come up to all fours. There is this aspect of letting this hand come forward and this knee come back. And you're going to feel that length across there, across that spiral. And then you can do the same thing that way. You can have a look under your armpit. You can wag your tail, see how that feels. Then as you ascend, it's the same deal. You're going to take your foot up here, place it here, and feel that spiral across there. And do the same thing here. So that when you come into vertical, and eventually you will come into vertical, and let this come up here, come to tippy toes. Follow it with your eye. And then when you come away from the chair completely, there's going to be this. You're going to reach as you step. You're going to reach as you step like a monkey. Reach as you step. And then this is going to become lower and lower and lower. And then you're in cross-court walking. All right? Okay. Have fun. See you on the other side. I'm going to go
Visual.
Yeah. And James, I have
Set
your.
me free. Oh my gosh.
Apologies to everybody who's watching. I haven't got my headpieces. Don't know where they've gone. They've gone forever. So, oh well. I hope you hear me okay. Good luck. So the key aspect of this exploration is your relationship with the eternal, the planet, gravity. And at any point, if you find yourself enjoying an exploration of any of these spirals, if I've moved on, just stay with your exploration. By all means. Also, if because I do hands-on during the session, and if for any reason you're comfortable with that, just say no thanks or get off. So we're going to practice that. So I'm going to say, hey, is that all right if I use my hands? And you're going to say,
Get off.
You got
yeah. And it is actually a sign that there's autonomy in the room. So I don't mind it at all. It's by no means, I don't take it personal. Well, okay, so to begin with, I'm just going to allow the points of contact with the floor to inform your body. And you're going to do a body scan just to check in how you are today. The great thing about Raymond Gart's procedures is that it gives you permission to feel exactly what you want to feel, to explore exactly what you want to explore, to undo exactly what you want to undo. And that includes thoughts, emotions, states of mind, attitude to environment, your breath, your metabolism, your inner structure, your muscles. And it just gives you time to do that. So bring your mind, first of all, I invite you to bring your mind to that point on the back of the skull that's resting on the block or the floor. And as you bring your mind to that point, it's going to let the in-breath bring your attention to it. And then on the out-breath, you're going to allow the point of gravity to release. You can imagine the muscles letting go. You can imagine the bones of the skull letting go. You can imagine the jaw letting go. You can give permission for the back of the neck to release. And in releasing, you just have lengthening. And then bring your mind to the next 2 points. Which are the 2 points of the shoulder blades, scapula. There are ties into big shoulder muscles, the trapezius. And as you melt your scapula into the floor, so there is a triangular relationship between those points of the scapula and the point on the back of the head. You can bring your mind's eye to the elbows. And those points of the clavicles, which are the beginning of the arms, lengthening away and across. The length of the upper arm. Right to the end of the fingers. Imagine the fingers just growing out of the buds of the torso. As you let the idea of gravity engaging with the elbow. breath, just let that melt into the floor. And also, with the act of breathing, bring your mind to the flock of ribs that you have there that's bringing this this awareness and this relaxation. And imagine that widening across the floor too. And then you can bring your mind to the points of the pelvis that are on the floor. And it could be 1, 2, or 3 points where the pelvic girdle sits on the floor. And just imagine the pelvis sinking like a marble in silly putty. And as that lengthens, so the spine lengthens. Those points between the back of the head, that point on the back of the head, and the spine, imagine those lengthening away from each other. It's not that you're making them come away from each other, you're just letting the relaxation of the muscles bring about length. Release to lengthen. And then there are the 3 points of each foot. Points behind the big toe. Points behind the little toe. And the heel. You imagine those points being like the tensile structure of a pop-up tent. So whatever tension is down there, creating this wonderful structure of the foot, that is necessary tension. So then, as you find the roots of the foot going into the floor and the roots of the pelvis going into the floor, then the knees go away from the body. It's not that you're making the knees go away, but the outcome of a melting pelvis and the foot rooted to the floor, the outcome is that the Golden Gate Bridge of your legs means that the structures come away and up. So as you're lying there now, you're going to imagine a spiral down one arm and coming to the fingers. So begin to track the mind for those spirals. And because this is an Alexander-based class, you're going to see if you can track the spirals from that point at the back of the skull. It's going to allow your mind's eye to travel through the body, imagining where the spirals go, like a maypole. You all know what a maypole is. I hope you know what a maypole is. And then follow that spiral down one arm so that the thumb comes away from the rib cage, followed by the index finger, the long finger, the ring finger, and the pinky, and just allow that to grow up towards the ceiling. And you're going to use the elbow to still be rooted into the floor, and then allow that to begin to explore the spirals. Yes, exactly. Explore the spirals of that hand in midair. So you can explore that all the way up the upper arm. So as you turn the hand, see if you can sense where the outcome of that spiral is down the rest of the arm and up into the torso. And because this is dark, you can ask yourself, well, does there have to be tension in that spiral? Can that spiral flow like water? So the theme of this today is spirals like rivers. So there is an idea that you allow the spiral to be, for sure, but then see if you can follow the spiral so that it swooshes along the length of your structure. Yes, exactly. And then let that hand just rest by your side, and you can begin to follow the spiral on the other arm to see if you can find with that. The fascinating thing about the structure of the lower arm is the way that the thumb rotates around the pinky. So the pinky is embedded In the ulna. And then there's the radius of the thumb that goes around that. So really, if you want to move the pinky around the thumb, you'll feel a certain degree of tension because the upper arm wants to move with that. And then in your own time, I'm going to flicker those out. And gradually extend the legs. So your toes are seeking the far wall, and then eventually the heels are seeking the far wall. So even in this position, with your legs extended, see if you can sense using the floor to clock the connections right the way through the structure from one toe to the pinky. Or if you can sense the spirals from the back of your head all the way down, across and through to your heel. And there is one spiral which is continuous, which goes from the back of the neck all the way down to underneath the foot, and then returning up through the hamstrings, back up through the spinae longus, whatever it is, I can't remember the name exactly off the top of my head, all the way back to the base of the skull. There's lengths of muscles either side of the symbol, is it? Erectus spinae, that's it. All the way back to the back of the head. Say again? Yes, that is exactly what it's like. It's like a stirrup. And it goes under that point of the heel where the middle of the foot is, i.e. the middle of the three prongs. And so now, in this position, you're just going to turn the palms of your hands and see which way the turning of the palms of your hands relates to the turning of the rest of the spiral in your structure. So it's a fun thing to explore, just to go, okay, if I turn both hands away from each other, where does my body want to go there? It's like, what? I don't know. Or if they both go in a particular way, then let your gaze go in that particular way and begin to follow the river of the spiral to then take the rest of the body in that direction. And yes, and then allow the heart to follow, and then the gut, the pelvis, and you find yourself on your side. And then just have a little luxurious side rock back and forward. And then you can rotate your hands back the other way and let the eye follow and the heart follow. So you come back onto your back. I'm going to move the blocks actually. And then you can turn the hands the other way and then roll over onto the other side. No block now, I think. Just the pain.
James, question.
Yes, sir. Yeah. Wow, yeah. This is a really great point. So this exploration is to see if you can tie the hands, the extremities, to the spiral in the neck and the head. So as the turn of the hands turns one way or the other, so the eye follows it and then instigates the turn of the head and the neck. But Bo brings up a really great point, and that is that you can, of course, instigate this spiral with your upper senses. So you will find a different sensation of the spiral if you just let your eye begin to spiral. And I think this is the fun thing that one can begin to really explore. What is the habit of the spiral of movement that you have? I've said this before, that Raymond Dart said the future of the humankind is in the ambidextrous man. And I think he meant man in the Old English sense of the word, which is man being inclusive of everybody. Well, the original human, yes, rather than weird man, which was the original term of not woman but a male. So anyway, the point being that how we balance our movements out through movement reaching for a cup with a different hand, looking at a particular way instantly rather than relying on one particular side. That is how we balance up our systems. And also balance up the systems of the brain. And once you've explored this a couple of times, just lie down and see on your back and just see what you feel is different. Since 90% of this is noticing, then the next part of this would be definitely noticing what's different. And noticing if you have become more aware of the spirals of your arms. And so now you can begin to play with the same thing with the feet. So you can turn the feet and sense the spirals that go down the leg. And it is the toes that are seeking that introduces this movement. So if you allow the toes to be growing in that direction, like a plant that is moving towards that direction, and then let the rest of the body follow, whilst also bringing your mind to the head at the base of the spine, the tail. See what that's like if you introduce the tail in the movement. Some really great movements going on. This is wonderful. And once the tail has moved over, so does the belly and so does the heart. And you can bring the hands to follow that spiral. Another interesting aspect of being on the side there is the connection of the trochanter and the pelvis. So when you're on your side, bring in the idea of the freedom and lengthening in the pelvis. So that the trochanter talking to the other trochanter brings you to the idea of security. Okay, so once you've done this a couple of times, then you can come over onto your front. It's just a instigation to follow that spiral. And then if you turn the feet the other way, and then when you're on your front, you can just look one particular way. Bring your hands up by your head, sorry, and you're going to look one particular way and follow the spiral of the arm up off the floor on that side. And you're going to watch that hand so that it reaches up. So, yeah. And then if you get to that place where the hand can just dangle, just let the hand dangle. Yeah. And see if you can sense that spiral that goes all the way across there. And then come back down to the floor and then experiment with that going the other way. This is a great point as well. Is the seeking of what is behind you by the fingertips. So let the fingertips. Imagine that your index finger could have spiralic muscles in it. Imagine that your pinky could have spiralic muscles in it. So you just keep following that spiral right round behind you. Yes, beautiful. Beautiful. So you open up that spiral all the way across. Beautiful. And as you explore the spiral and you look under your armpit to see what's under there, see what wildlife is growing, you really, the idea is that you explore the spiral, not that you reach as far as you can. So once again, it's back to the idea that this is not yoga. It is merely exploration, and always relating back to gravity. So as you turn, the credo is, what can I let go of as a result of this movement? So if you can imagine that there is a river running down the spiral into the body, so that the spiral is freeing, not congesting. And then after you've explored with your arms, and do the same deal with the legs. So the leg, one of the feet is going to go on a little journey of exploration over the other one. Very good. And at any point, you can just pause and say, well, what spiral do I sense? And how can I let the river of muscle flow freely? And if that spiral is a tool beyond, or if you find yourself reaching, pause. Let the breath inform the spiral, because that's what it is. It's information at the moment. And then see what you can release. And the release is going to come from the contact with the floor, not from a conscious thing. So see if you can always use the sensation to find release rather than an attitudinal thing. Beautiful. So also that you can see what happens if you wag your tail as well. Bringing back the tail wagging thing. And there's good reason for that, because there's a bunch of muscles that all tie into the sacrum and the coccyx. So wagging your tail is saying, hey, you could just let that butt go. Okay, so now you've had some fun with your leg spirals. Just bring your hands underneath your armpits and let your knees scoot up so your butt begins to come in the air. You're going to support your structure as your knees. Yeah, and this in itself is a spiral exploration. As each knee comes up, so there is a twisty movement. Beautiful, beautiful. And bring those knees up underneath the pelvis. Yes, yes, bro. Exactly. And you're wagging your tail up into that position, and then you're going to let the head lengthen and the back widen as you come up into all fours. Ah, great. Really great. Yes. So then, I'm going to reach forward with one hand, just to reach a little bit as if you're going to start crawling. And then you're going to extend one leg back, the opposite leg. You're just going to extend back and feel that lengthening across that spiral. And then you're going to bring the leg back and the hand back. And then you'll feel the other side. You'll reach for the other side and lengthen. Yeah. Always about the lengthening. And then I'm going to bring that leg underneath, and you can begin to crawl forward towards the chair. Then you can bring your conscious tracking of your interoception to the chair. When you reach for the chair, see if you can find the lengthening. Actually, send one leg back so that you feel that length across that spiral. Yes. And then bring the foot under. And once again, see if you feel that spiral lengthening. Yes. Nice adjustment. That's a beautiful And when you have the back of the chair reaching towards, then yeah, you can, or you can just go straight forward. You have your hand on the back of the chair and go up on tippy toes. Follow the eye of your eye up through a hand that reaches up. So one of the hands is going to reach up and follow that spiral. Yeah. And then that comes back down and reaching up again. And see if you can still come back to some kind of monkey here. Yes. And then on the next reach, you're just going to continue to turn. You can turn away from the chair and begin to reach and step, and reach and step, and reach and step. And if you're confident enough, go up into tippy toes as you reach and step. Reach and step. Yeah, beautiful movements. And then as you walk, you're going to bring that down so that eventually you're going to aim to reach and step, and that's just going to be a normal walk. Yeah. And then just walk normally. Yeah. It's like you're internalizing the reach that you used to have when you were swinging from branch to branch. Lunch to lunch. Thanks for joining.